to make those rainbows in my mind. When I think of you sometimes, I wanna spend some time with you.
Alrighty, what's up guys? It's Web Novel Wiz, and we're finally here. This is Web Novel Recommendations, episode 10. It's absolutely insane that we're already at 10 episodes. I never thought I'd be doing this that long, to be honest, but I'm really happy that this has brought me plenty of entertainment and joy and some great recommendations, and I hope it does for you too. Another crazy thing, we're almost about to hit 100 subscribers. That's another super crazy thing. I can't believe that many people are actually interested in this medium. Thank you guys so much for the support again, and I'll keep continuing to release these videos and hopefully give you guys some great recommendations. And yeah, so let's get straight into it. We've got 4 different novels that we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to start off with the best. I'm going to give you a diamond in the rough. I'm going to give you an Ecchi novel, and I'm also going to give you a review / recommendation that a lot of people were plugging in the comments. Okay, that's all I'm doing today. Hope you guys look forward to it. Let's get straight into it. The first novel that we got on the list is The Mother of Learning. And The Mother of Learning is a really deep novel. There's a lot of layers, there's a lot of mystery. It's kind of like Groundhog Day and ReZero had a baby. That's The Mother of Learning. The MC, Zorian, is kind of stuck in this time loop. So every 30 days, he goes back to the start of the time loop, plays out completely differently every single time. And that's what keeps this story so fresh. The story itself isn't too long. It's only 100 plus chapters, so there's that. But this is probably one of the greatest stories I've ever read as an original novel, hands down. So in that regard, this is a fantastic read. There's so many layers, so many different pieces and aspects that go into this story that make it just a fantastic read. It's a legendary novel if you've been in the community for a while, so I think you guys would really, really love to read this novel. And yeah, that's all I got to say about it. Definitely read that one. The next novel we got on our list is a web novel, which is My Hermes System. Now, I got a little bit of beef with the author, Romaru, because he's made another novel that I've also plugged before. And he has this habit, and I understand he's trying to monetize and he's trying to get his content out there and he's trying to make money off of it. I understand that. But when his novels don't go high up in the rankings, he has a tendency to really, really snail pace the release date. I mean, by snail's pace, I don't think that story is ever going to get finished. So I have mixed opinions about this novel. Once again, great fundamentals, great plot progression, great, writing in general. I really enjoy his writing style. My Hermes System, the MC, he's got a really traumatic, rough childhood. He comes out from way out in the yards, way out in the boonies. And, they just do things different out there. His dad was real abusive to a pretty disgusting extent. And, he's pretty hard done by until he gets his system. And his system is the Hermes System. So that kind of tells you a little bit about this novel. It's tied into Greek mythology, and that plays a much larger role later down in the plot. Probably around 170 is when you're going to really start to understand more about the plot itself. But I really enjoy this novel, right? The MC is pretty naive, but not in a bad way. He's maintained a certain level of purity despite all the crap he's been through. And he's not afraid to get his hands bloody, which I really appreciate, because some MCs, it's just painful to read, and it makes it really hard to really enjoy a story like that. But he's not afraid to get down and dirty, that's for sure. And it's looking like it's probably going to progress towards a harem. So depending on your opinion on that genre, take it or leave it, right? And yeah, it's a pretty great novel. I recommend it to you guys. I don't know if I'm gonna recommend another one if this one, especially by this author, if he decides to kind of cut these chapters short. So yeah, we're gonna give him one last shot here. Our next novel, which is also our review, I'm leaving the Ero Novel for the last novel. Our next novel is The Homeless Millionaire. Now, y'all were plugging this novel a lot in the comments, and I'm pretty skeptical because I really just don't like realistic novels too much. Fantasy is more my genre, you know, like I like Sansia, I like power trips, I like OPMCs, I like anti-heroes. That's my kind of story, right? So this was a little bit outside my comfort zone, but I was really surprised by how well it pulled me in towards like chapter 20, 25-ish. Initially before that I was struggling a bit to really not drop the novel. But once I hit the scene where he actually goes in, they do this crazy art heist. That's when you get pulled straight into it, and I think that's the downfall and the greatest part of this novel is the fact that you know, depending on your opinion on this type of genre, like maybe the first couple of chapters really might be a little bit tough to get through, but once it hits that rising action, that climax, you're really pulled into it all the way. So in that regards, this novel is a fantastic series. I'm only around chapter 50 so far, but this is a fantastic recommendation. It's completely outside of my comfort zone, typical genres I read. I would never read it unless it was plugged to me. So thank you so much for this recommendation. I have really high hopes for this, and I think you guys should read it. If you're not into historical novels, I can understand if you don't want to read this type of novel. That's totally fine. But give it a shot. You'd be surprised. I was really surprised by how low the ranking of this novel was, and I think that has something to do with the fact that the author isn't too good on writing synopsises, and you know, the first couple of chapters were a little dry for me. In my opinion, they were a little dry, and they were hard to really pull me in. But it does have a great peak, and once you get pulled in, you're there. Our last novel we're going to be talking about is, oh god, I'm going to butcher this name. It's Oukoku Tsuzuku Michi. And the MC is super OP, gladiator, battle god. I've heard him described as like Guts from Berserk mixed with Conan the Barbarian with a lot of arrow. And that's pretty much this entire story. I'd say like 50% of this story is just ecchi scenes. And then you get a pretty cool mix of like mythical creatures. You get your vampires and stuff like that. And it's just cool. I like the story. I think it's a great Ero novel. It's got a fantastic rating on Novel Updates, so that's why I'm plugging it. I've read it. It's okay from my perspective because, you know, some Ero novels they're just so bad. But this one's pretty good. I think it pretty much covers every single possible genre of hentai you can possibly imagine. So if you enjoy this kind of content, this might be the novel for you. It might not be. And yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. And yeah, look forward to more videos to come. Peace out, guys.